Navy speaks on ex-Chief of Naval Staff Gambo failing to hand over despite Tinubu's directive. Okay, so after the service chiefs were relieved of their job and forced to retire, the new service chiefs are beginning to take over, and that of the Naval Chief of Staff took a different turn when the outgoing Naval Chief of Staff Gambo refused to hand over to the incoming Chief of Staff, and the fracas or the disagreement leaked to the public and it became an issue. And right now, the Nigerian Navy has come out now to debunk and to deny it, because this is a case of Hausa man handing over to an Igbo man, and I'm telling you, they have some sentiment there. So the Igbo man that's taken over also need to be very careful, because a lot of documents are going to be missing, or the handover is not going to be smooth. Because that is at leaked to the public, they will try to deny and to patch up things. But we know what will happen at the back end. Okay, they don't want the guy to take over that role. They would have preferred, if it's during the Buhari time, probably they would have find a way to retire this Igbo man before time, so that they can hand it over to the next Hausa man, probably next to him. Okay, even Tinubu that did it probably didn't know, because he would have probably retired this Igbo man ahead of time, so that probably the person next to him will be there. What they will do normally is that they will retire the service chief, the incumbent, and then they will retire the next person to him if it's not the person they want to give the role, and then they will give it to the third or fourth person in the role. Okay, now wow. The Nigerian Navy authorities on Wednesday debunked rumors circulating in some media outlets alleging that the outgoing Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Zubairu Gambo, had refused to hand over his post to his successor, Admiral Ikechukwu Ogala. They dismissed these insinuations as complete fabrications and falsehood. The Director of Naval Information, Commodore Adedotun Ayo Vogan, issued a statement declaring that the handover had adhered to standard practices. He explained that traditionally, the outgoing Chief of Naval Staff is required to provide a detailed briefing to the incoming chief, as well as conduct a tour of key naval facilities and perform the ceremonial lowering of the ensign. Commodore Ayo Vogan said the attention of the naval allegation of outgone Chief of Naval Staff's refusal to hand over headquarters has been drawn to a malicious publication by some online media alleging the refusal of the outgoing Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Gambo, to hand over to the incoming Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral L. Ogala. The media reports are total lies, misleading, and capable of spreading falsehood to unsuspecting members of the public. It is therefore necessary to put the record straight. Suffice to say that handing and taking over ceremony in the Nigerian Navy from inception is procedural. We know it's procedural. Upon the announcement of the change of the watch on deck, the outgoing CNS is expected to give a detailed brief to the incoming CNS, tour key naval facilities, and perform the ceremonial lowering of ensign. Okay. So accordingly, the program of events leading to the formal handing and taking over ceremony has kicked off to culminate at a public ceremony on Friday, 23rd June 2023, in line with age-long naval tradition. Intrusively, it is pertinent to mention that sister services are also due to hand over, as they have set aside specific dates for their handing and takeover ceremonies. I'm sure he's referring to the Army and the Air Force Chief of Staff as well. Members of the public are therefore advised to discountenance the malicious publication and erroneous information as a figment of the reporter's imagination. Okay, oh. As a figment of the reporter's imagination. What a word. So, because before that news leaked out, it must be true. Okay, the politics in the military is also another complex one. It's just because they are reserved group of people, their information doesn't come out to the public easily. But for this one to leak to the public, there must have been some kind of misunderstanding there that must have come out, and it's quite unfortunate that this is happening. But the military has come out, the Navy has come out to debunk it, because having an Hausa man handing over to an Igbo man, the hatred for the Igbos is across board for everything. And it's quite unfortunate that that is happening. Okay. But now the Navy is debunking it, saying that the process has started and is culminating to a public ceremonial service that will take place on Friday, 23rd June 2023. So let's see what other comments people have here. Okay, Navy should actually do the needful. For every rumor, there is always an element of truth. Correct. Bam, and that is exactly what it is. Not true, brother, is a lie. They have to perform a Navy tradition first. We know now, but it is some people that have never worked or been in an office where they have to hand over to people that will not understand. Okay, this is a case of the person retiring probably did not want to go, or probably had somebody else he would have wanted to hand over to and not this man. So there will always be misunderstanding until things are put straight. Okay, Northerners are greedy and wicked. Nothing good comes from them. Read well before comment. All this fake news that you people are following does not help you in any way. Not really. Is it fake news? From your name, you are one of them. Exactly. You are one of them. Very much like what Obedience would do, because the incoming Naval chief is their brother. Why are you equalizing it? Hmm? Olodo Ati, Olodiburuku ni. What concerns Obedience with this rubbish now? That is true. I'm obedient and I'm not Igbo. Obedience cut across all tribes and religions in Nigeria and in diaspora. He is bidding time to cover up a lot of corruption from his end. Exactly. He should have known that he would go and should have started putting things straight. How can he hand over to Igbo man after all Niger Delta? After all, Niger Delta and sea belongs to Jigawa and the British. Abi, not Nigerian is those Igbos with fake lives. Everything about them is fake. Can you imagine? It is in you personally, not every Yorubas. You are just full of hate and criticism. Change your ways now. Exactly. Eh? So, somebody said this is not fake news. He initially refused, okay, because he claimed he wanted to effect some payment to contractors, corruption to the highest order. Exactly. He came up. Yes, he is corrupt. He wants to make sure he collects his bit in the project from the contractors before he goes. He didn't expect President Tinubu would act so fast. Somebody said it is not a rumor. He wanted to complete the unfinished business. He said he wants some contractors to be paid before he leaves, which will be Friday. He doesn't have that privilege or luxury anymore. Exactly. Because we saw in news that about 20 billion naira or so need to be paid out to contractors. We saw that news. And I'm sure that payment is exactly why he didn't want to go. And I'm sure in that program, he must have his own court, which he didn't want to miss, or tidy up the document very well so that nothing leaks after he had left that will warrant hunting him for prosecution or investigation. So he wanted to perfect his corrupt record before leaving. Quite obvious. Really, really quite obvious. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment for sharing and learning.